Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are all keeping safe. You must have enjoyed your summer vacations very well and must have utilized your time in most meaningful ways. After the summer vacations, we are going to once again start our online classes, and the first chapter that we are going to deal with is the Tiger King from your vistas. This is the second lesson of the book. Before we begin our discussion, I want to make one point very clear to you, which I noticed earlier that many students were not doing. And the point is that before you watch this video, please read the text again and again and try to understand almost everything that you can do at your level. Then only this video is actually meaningful for you. Many students didn't do that. So I request you all, please watch the video, please read the original text again and again. Find out all difficult meanings and everything. And also read again the class notes on the lesson that I have already provided you through WhatsApp. After doing this much of exercise only, you can enjoy the video. So please do this. Well, so I would like to begin discussions on this beautiful lesson. It's a very long story, but I promise you will definitely enjoy it. It's a beautiful story written by Kalki. I will not go into the detail of the writer. I would like to give you a brief introduction of the storyline of the story, and then theme, then literary devices, and then we'll begin the discussion. See, this story is a story of a king, a very autocratic and eccentric king, right? Very strange in nature, right? He's not like the king who loved to serve their people. What kind of a king he was, you will come to know. Story belongs to British period in India when we were under the British rule, and somewhere around the World War II, right? These kings were not actually full-fledged kings. They were put into the place by the British. So they were under the British rule actually. The real rulers of the country were the British, not these kings. These kings were simply enjoying everything, collecting the taxes from the people and handing over everything to the British government. Since they were appointed by the British, so they feared them. These kings were not at all interested in serving the people. They were never actually working for the welfare of the public. They were simply enjoying the luxuries of their life, right? And collecting the taxes somehow and just giving them to the British people. Mostly they used to spend their time in foolish pursuits, foolish things. They never obeyed, never followed any laws. They flouted all the laws, pursued their selfish interests. So this is the story of all those kings. Every foolish thing they did. The hero of the story, the main lead character of the story, is Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram state. This name of state is Pratibandhapuram. And according to a prediction, his death was to come from a tiger. His death was to come from a tiger, and when the prediction became very clear, it was that his death will come from the 100th tiger. Means the prediction was very clear. If he starts fighting the tiger, if he starts killing the tiger, he will be able to kill 99 tigers, but he will not be able to kill the 100th tiger. 100th tiger will kill him. The king decided that he will defy this prediction. He will kill 100 tigers. He resolves to kill 100 tigers immediately. And he started killing the tigers in the state, in the neighboring state, and everywhere. Initially, the campaign was highly successful. In the beginning, he killed 70 tigers, and after some obstacles he was able to kill successfully 99 tigers. A few problems he faced, but successfully he killed 99 tigers. But see the irony of the fate. This irony of fate brings quite an unexpected end of Maharaja. He fails to kill the 100th tiger. 100th tiger, see, his death comes from the tiger. And more interestingly, This hunted tiger wasn't actually a live tiger, that ferocious, right, beast made of blood and flesh. No, ironically, it was a wooden tiger, toy tiger, and it brings death to the king. So I have just explained you the brief storyline. But see, more important thing are the themes. I have given you the class notes also, but I would like to discuss all those themes in a little detail. Please listen to them. The first important theme of the story, that the story is a satire on the pride and conceit of those in power. How they made a misuse of their power. These kings, they were not at all interested in serving the people. They never did anything for the welfare of the public. They're simply fulfilling their own selfish motives, collecting the taxes, giving them to the British, and enjoying their life. So the story presents a beautiful satire on this habit of these kings. Story also presents a beautiful satire on the wastage of public money by the rulers. These rulers, these kings, whatever the money they collected in the form of taxes, they spent on themselves and fulfilling their selfish interests. So it was a wastage of public money. Why this theme is very, very relevant, I want to tell you that still our rulers, they are our rulers right now, because there is democracy in our country, but our rulers, our public representatives, you'll find, if you think about that, they are doing the same thing. Whatever we, the taxpayers, giving them in the form of the taxes, are they really using that for the welfare of the common people, for the poor people? Not exactly. You'll find out they are wasting that money on unnecessary things, distributing the freebies, right, and wasting the money in so many different ways. So this theme is very, very relevant today in the present scenario also. Third very important theme is the reckless killing of the wild animals. This has been going on since the Mughal period. Then British also continued killing, particularly killing the tigers, killing all the wild animals. What has our country come to? Not only this leads to the extinction of many valuable wild species, but it has greatly affected the ecological balance of the country also. See that one, there used to be thousands and lakhs of tigers in the forests of India. Even when we got free, there were around, when India got free, there were around 1 lakh tigers in country. And if you see the presentation, hardly 1,000 or something, this many tigers are left. And this is happening when Project Tiger reserves have been made, and government is doing everything. Tiger hunting during the Mughal period, during British period, it was free. Anybody could kill the tigers. But now the tiger hunting, killing the tigers is a legal offense. If somebody kills, he would be behind the bars for a long time. Still tigers are disappearing, right? The population is decreasing, right? This is the irony. See, that means we are not able to save the tigers. Tigers are still being killed. And tiger is just a representative of all the entire wildlife. All the wild animals are being killed recklessly for fulfilling our selfish motives. So this theme has been beautifully presented by the writer, story writer Kalki in the story. There is one more sub-theme I would like to discuss, and that comes in the beginning of the story, and it goes through in the story also. The story, that is, story presents a beautiful satire on the meaningless astrological predictions. Many Indians believe in astrological predictions. They believe they are true. Whatever some Jyotishi or some astrologer will predict about their future, that will be true. The story presents these predictions are actually myth. They are baseless. They are meaningless. Nothing actually happens. Fine. So I have discussed these important themes. In the course of the story also, we will be discussing all those things. Let me give you the introduction of the literary devices, because if you really want to understand and enjoy the story, you need to understand these literary devices, and the questions will be coming orienting them. See that one. The first one is a satire. We discussed in 11th class also. Satire is a humorous way of criticizing people or ideas to show that they have faults or to show that they are wrong. When the writer makes a mockery. He ridicules some person, some idea, or some situation. He makes fun of it. But the purpose is not actually making fun, making mockery, or ridiculing them. Purpose is to bring about a positive change into the situation. Purpose is the reformation. Purpose is to do away the wrong, indirectly giving that message. I hope you remember Mrs. Packletite's tiger, if you read it in class 10th. And when the villagers were given this responsibility, they will curtail the tigers into that particular hunting ground. So they did many funny things. And one line I would like to point out: children were posted night and day on the outskirts of the local jungle to head the tiger back in the unlikely event of his attempting to roam away to fresh hunting grounds. Children were posted to curtail the tiger into that particular hunting ground and preventing it from running away to fresh hunting grounds. Very funny. I hope you can understand how can the children prevent the tiger from running away to some other hunting ground. So this is the satire. Fine, so many beautiful satires this story presents. So this story is a beautiful example of satire. And one variant of satire is a political satire. The story is a beautiful example of political satire. Political satire is a satire on the people who are in power. Fine. So I hope you remember So Sorry on Aaj Tak, and many caricatures and the cartoons in the newspapers on political leaders. They present beautiful political satire. So satire on the people who are in power, who are ruling the country, when a satire on their follies, on their mistakes, on their whimsical decisions, and satire is made, that is called political satire. Next literary device is irony. I hope you know it. I'll revise. When the real meaning of the writer is opposite to what it said, that is irony. Real meaning is exactly opposite. He wants to convey something else, but he says exactly opposite to you. That is irony. There are three different types of irony: verbal irony, situational irony, and dramatic irony. Verbal irony has been very beautifully used by the writer in the story. I would like to explain you through this example. Suppose a customer in a restaurant saying to a waiter, "Good job," when the waiter has dropped the tray. It's not actually a good job. Suppose one of your friends come to the school in a very ugly, very shabby and very dirty kind of a dress, and you say, "Oh, you look very smart today." Actually, you don't mean that your friend looks very smart. You indirectly want to say कि क्या हाल बना रखा है अपना. So this is a beautiful example of verbal irony. The story presents verbal irony. Story also presents a wonderful example of dramatic irony. At the end of this discussion, we will discuss in detail how this story is a beautiful example of dramatic irony. But let's understand what exactly this dramatic irony is. Dramatic irony is a situation in which the readers share with the author the knowledge of which a character is ignorant. The character acts opposite to circumstances and expects opposite of what fate holds in store. The writer has decided what actually is to happen at the end with a particular character. Because he's the writer, he has sole authority to decide what exactly will happen, what will be the fate of a character. He shares this information with the readers. But that character, he either does not know it, or if he knows it, he does not accept it. He decides to go against the plans of the writer. Of course, he is going to fail, because writer is the person who has the authority to decide what will happen with the character in the end. But the character does not accept. He does everything, he makes every effort to defy this fate. But at the end, it happens that has been decided by the writer. Suppose writer has decided that death will come at the end to the character and in this way. Okay, the character does not accept it. He tries to oppose it. He tries to defy it. But the writer knows and the readers know that will come, and it happens. So this is called dramatic irony. We will see this happens with the Tiger King. Story, another literary device is humor. Humor is something that creates simple laughter, simple comic effects. Remember your reaction to the jokes. You laugh. without any purpose. So that is humor. So story presents beautiful examples of humor also. One more literary device we'll discuss at the end, anticlimax. I will give you the details of the anticlimax at the end, but anticlimax is a disappointing end to an event which was likely to become interesting, grand, exciting, and impressive. So how we expect that this story will end in a grand finish, but we are disappointed to see the story ends without any excitement, means the death of the king comes without much excitement. It's not very impressive. So that is anticlimax. So this is a brief discussion on the story, and now I would like to begin. The text is before you. I once again request you, before going ahead with the video, read the text, whole text again and again. Story begins like this. The Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram is the hero of this story. He may be identified as His Highness Jamidar General Kilidar Major Satyagraha Samhari, Maharajadhiraj Vishwa Bhuvan Samrat, Sir Jilani Jang Bahadur. And see the degrees, MAD, AC, TC or CRCK. So the name of the king, see his titles has been presented in a very grand manner. He was Kilidar Major, His Highness. He was Jamidar General. Satyagraha Samhari means killer of the 100 tigers. Vishwa Bhuvan Samrat. Sir, actual name was Jilani Jang Bahadur. But see the titles, and all these titles were given to all those kings by the British. Tiger King also got these titles from the British. And degrees, MAD, ACTC, CRCK, so some funny degrees he had. But actual name, as I told you, Jilani Jang Bahadur. But because of something, the king came to be known as the Tiger King. We'll discuss why he came to be known as the Tiger King. This was his shortened name. In the second paragraph, the writer tells you that I have come forward to tell you why he came to be known as Tiger King. So he will give you the details why he came to be known as Tiger King. He is saying here, I have no intention of pretending to advance only to end in a strategic withdrawal. He says, I will give you every detail by the end of the story. I have no plan that I will back out. Withdraw means I will take back steps. मैं कुछ बताऊंगा नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. I will give you every detail. See, he is saying, comparing this, even the threat of a Stuka bomber. Stuka bomber, you need to know, Stuka bomber were the German aircrafts used in the Second World War. And they were very threatening, very ferocious. But the writer is saying here that even the threat of the Stuka bomber will not deviate me from my plans, and my plans are to tell you everything about the Tiger King. Will not throw me off track. I will tell you everything. Even Stuka bomber, if Stuka bomber likes, right, can beat a history. It means even a Stuka bomber can back out, take back steps, right, can run away. But I will not run away. I will tell you everything. So this is the promise the writer is making to the readers. See, third paragraph, right at the start, it is imperative to disclose a matter of vital importance about the Tiger King. See, he wants to tell you something very important about the Tiger King, and see what is this. Everyone who reads of him will experience the natural desire to meet a man of this indomitable courage. Indomitable means one who cannot be defeated. The king was very brave, who could not be defeated. And he was such a brave, such a great king, as the writer is saying about him. Everybody would feel a natural desire that I would like to meet the king, I would like to see this king. So the writer is saying here, but there is no chance of the fulfillment of this desire. But your desire cannot be fulfilled. Why? See the comparison. As Bharat said to Ram about Dasharath, example from Ramayana, when Raja Bharat went to meet his elder brother Ram in the forest, and what did Bharat say to Lord Ram, his elder brother, about their father Dasharath? What did he say? I hope you remember. He said, dear brother, father is no more. He is dead. So the Tiger King also, just like Raja Dasharath is no more, Tiger King has also reached that final abode. What is the final abode? The heaven, where we go after that, heaven or hell, whatever, right? Means Tiger King is dead, he is no more. In other words, the Tiger King is dead. So those who want to meet the king, their desire cannot be fulfilled. Now let's see the manner of death. Now writer is coming to the point of his death. He's saying here, the manner of his death is a matter of extraordinary interest. It can be revealed only at the end of the tale. How the king died, this can be told to you at the end of the story, fine. And the fantastic aspect of his demise means death, right? As soon as he was born, see, it was told, it was very clear how he was going to die. And who told to the king and to everyone? The astrologers. The state astrologers made a prediction about the king. Now remember the theme number 4, meaningless astrological prediction. This has been very, very common thing in our country. See, what did the astrologers say about the king? They had foretold that one day the Tiger King would actually have to die. Now see this prediction, I repeat, they had foretold that one day the Tiger King would actually have to die. एक दिन ऐसा आएगा जब राजा को मरना होगा. अब आप ये बताएं कि what is so special about this prediction? Everybody knows कि we are not immortal here. If we are born here, we have to die one day. So what is so special about the prediction? Nothing. So this is an interesting satire. ये जो एस्ट्रोलजर्स यहाँ पर कह रहे हैं कि एक दिन राजा मरेगा, इसमें क्या खास बात हुई भाई? ये सटायर है. देखिए उनके एक्चुअल वर्ड्स में हम देखते हैं. लेट्स सी व्हाट डिड द एस्ट्रोलजर्स, उन्होंने कहा क्या था. सी व्हाट प्रेडिक्शन एक्चुअली दे मेड इन देयर वर्ड्स. द चाइल्ड विल ग्रो अप टू बिकम द वॉरियर ऑफ वॉरियर्स, हीरो ऑफ हीरोज, चैंपियन ऑफ चैंपियंस. बट ये कहा उन्होंने कि बहुत ग्रेट किंग होगा ये. बट दे बिट देयर लिप्स एंड swallowed hard. They started biting their lips, means they were hesitant, they were reluctant, they did not want to continue. वो चुप हो गए, वो शायद डर के मारे कहना नहीं चाहते आगे. When compelled to continue, when they were forced to continue, उनको बोला बोलिए आप आगे क्या बोलेंगे. Then astrologers came out with it. उन्होंने कहा, क्या कहा? This is a secret which should not be revealed at all. ये बहुत बड़ा secret है. Nobody should. We don't want actually to say that. We don't want to reveal it. But yet we are forced, since we are being forced to speak that truth, we will tell it. And what is the truth? What is that secret? The child born under this star will one day have to meet its death. Star means जैसे हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं नक्षत्र, इस नक्षत्र में बच्चा पैदा हुआ है, ऐसा करके. तो child born under this particular star, क्या कहा उन्होंने? One day have to meet its death. एक दिन इसे मरना होगा. तो वही बात आती है कि क्या खास बात हुई इस बात में भाई. आपके इतना क्या ग्रैंड सीक्रेट आपने बना रखा था. एवरीबडी नोज कि हु हैज टेकन द बर्थ विल हैव टू डाई वन डे. व्हाट इज सो स्पेशल अबाउट दैट? दिस इज अ सटायर ऑन द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ मीनिंगलेस बेसलेस एस्ट्रोलॉजिकल प्रेडिक्शंस. अब और देखिए आगे क्या होता है. एट दैट वेरी मोमेंट a great miracle took place. एक चमत्कार हो गया, miracle हो गया. See what is that one? An astonishing phrase emerged from the lips of the 10-day-old Jilani Jung Bahadur. That 10-day-old baby king, he said something loudly. What did he say? Loudly. Oh wise prophets. बोला वो जोर से. People were not ready to believe. Everyone stood transfixed. Transfixed मतलब they were unable to move, shocked. So shocked were they. Stupefaction actually is the shock. They were unable to move in a kind of a shock. They looked wildly of each. एक दूसरे को देखने लगे, blinking their eyes कि अरे कौन बोला ये? Who said this? Oh wise prophet, because that they were not ready to believe that this 10-day-old baby could speak so clearly. The baby repeated, "Oh wise prophets, it was I who spoke." This time there was no ground of doubt. Everybody came to know that it was this baby, this infant, only 10-day-old. It was this 10-day-old baby who had enunciated. Enunciated means to pronounce very clearly. बिल्कुल साफ साफ बोलना, right? So he had said that. The chief astrologer जिसने prediction किया था कि ये मरेगा, The chief astrologer took off his spectacles and gazed intently at the baby. Now baby continued, all those who are born will one day have to die. We don't need your prediction to know that. See how intelligently this baby is speaking. There would be some sense in it if you could tell us the manner of the death. The royal infant uttered these words in his little squeaky voice, sharp voice में बोला कि one who is born has to die. If I am born, I will have to die. We don't need your prediction in that. इसमें क्या खास बात हुई आपकी? Okay, if you really want to make some prediction, tell how will I die? How will somebody die? कैसे मरूंगा मैं, वो बताइए. आप देख रहे हैं किस तरह से ये सटायर चल रहा है एस्ट्रोलॉजिकल. यहाँ पर एस्ट्रोलॉजर से ज़्यादा समझदार, ज़्यादा इंटेलिजेंट, ज़्यादा वाइज ये बच्चा समझ आ रहा है, और जो जानता है कि व्हाट इज देयर इन मेकिंग दिस प्रेडिक्शन कि दिस बेबी विल डाई वन डे. टेल मी हाउ विल आई डाई. सो दिस इज अ सटायर. द चीफ एस्ट्रोलॉजर प्लेस्ड हिज फिंगर ऑन हिज नोज लाइक दिस, थिंकिंग, showing that he is thinking. Now अभी वो सोचेगा. A baby barely 10 days old opens its lips in speech. न केवल ये बच्चा बोल रहा है, not only that, it also raises intelligence question. He is asking very wise type of questions. Incredible, unbelievable. Just like as unbelievable as the bulletins issued by the War Office during the Second World War, some unbelievable time of war news came in the evening. ऐसा ही अनबिलीवेबल था ये. ओके, चीफ एस्ट्रोलॉजर नाउ रेडी टू स्पीक, टुक ऑफ हिज फिंगर एंड नाउ ही इज सेइंग, नाउ ही विल हैव टू टेल कि हाउ विल द बेबी डाई. ही सेड, अब उसने अपना वो एस्ट्रोलॉजिकल प्रेडिक्शन को थोड़ा एक्सपैंड किया, एक्सटेंड किया. सी व्हाट इज सेइंग, द प्रिंस वाज बोर्न इन द आवर ऑफ बुल. हम स्टार की बात कर रहे थे, नक्षत्र की बात कर रहे थे, उसको थोड़ा डिटेल में बोला. इन द आवर ऑफ बुल, बैल, राइट. सो इन द आवर ऑफ बुल. And the bull and the tiger are enemies. Naturally, they are enemies. Tiger और bull enemies होते हैं. So, since the baby is born in the hour of bull, bull and tiger are enemies. तो मैं prediction ये करता हूँ कि the death of this baby will come from a tiger. Manner of death उसने बता दिया कि इसकी death tiger से होगी. अब naturally छोटा सा बच्चा, you know it very very well कि suppose he comes to know about the tiger, and he comes to know that my death will come from a tiger, he would be horror struck. He would be greatly terrified. You may think the crown prince Jung Bahadur was thrown into a quake. He is shocked, greatly shocked, under a tremendous fear. This is the meaning of thrown into a quake, right? When he heard the word tiger. आप ये सोचेंगे कि डर जाएगा. Naturally कोई भी डर जाएगा. That was exactly what did not happen. ये डरने वाला नहीं था. As soon as he heard the word tiger pronounced, as soon as he came to know कि this is the prediction कि my death will come from a tiger, the crown prince, 10-day-old baby, gave a deep tiger kind of a growl. जोर से दहाड़ करके बोला. Terrifying words emerged from his lips. क्या बोला? Let tigers beware. सारी दुनिया के टाइगरों सावधान हो जाओ, तुमको मारने वाला अब आ गया है. This account is only a rumor rife. Rumor rife आप समझते हैं कि it's not believed to be really fake, not really believed to be really true. It could be fake. It could be mixed truth also, right? So it's a rumor rife. कहीं सुनी हुई बातें हैं, एक अफवाह थी कि ये बचपन में ऐसा हुआ in प्रतिबंधपुरम. But with hindsight, this is our eyes are our foresight. Hindsight यानी आप कह सकते हैं the eyes of our wisdom. और इंटेलेक्ट और थिंकिंग, हम अच्छी तरह से सोच विचार करके समझेंगे तो पता चलेगा. वी मे कंक्लूड कि इट वॉज बेस्ड ऑन सम ट्रुथ. इट माइट बी फेक, इट माइट बी अनट्रू, बट नॉट कंप्लीटली अनट्रू. देयर मस्ट बी सम जर्म्स ऑफ ट्रुथ इन दिस प्रेडिक्शन. सो इन द फर्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ द डिस्कशन वी हैव सीन हाउ दिस प्रेडिक्शन अबाउट द डेथ ऑफ द किंग मेड, एंड wait for my next video. We'll continue. And the major theme that how meaningless, how baseless are the astrological prediction, this has been discussed. Further discussions in the video number 2. Thank you.